morning, good afternoon, good evening, Jar of Marble dwellers and Jar of Marble curious. My name is Linda and this is Jar of Marbles.
And I'm Bob.
It's good to see you, Bob.
Yes, it's good to see you too.
Wow. So this week I'd like to talk a little bit about thinking outside of the box. If you've ever been told you should think outside the box and you didn't understand exactly how to do that, you have come to the right place.
Oh, goody.
We're going to discuss some ideas and work out how we're going to think outside of the box.
My flabbers are gasted.
So stick around and you'll also learn the many benefits of thinking creatively and how you train your brain to be more open, flexible and creative.
Well, here we go.
When you think outside the box, you throw out the usual assumptions people would make about a problem and look at it from a totally different perspective.
Different angle, you say.
Yeah.
If you message me and I read it and I don't respond, I'm not ignoring you. I may have seen something shining and then forgot that you messaged.
That can happen. I hear you, Bob.
Yeah.
So use techniques such as brainstorming, mind mapping and role-playing to stimulate your creative thinking so you can more easily think outside the box.
If you can't think of a word, say, I forget the English word for it. That way people will think you're bilingual instead of just getting old.
Great tip. I love that.
Yeah, I thought you might.
So think outside the box is an idiom that describes creative thinking.
What is the box? Can I see the box? Can I touch the box?
In context, Bob, the box is whatever the usual assumptions are surrounding the problem you need to solve. To think outside the box means to ignore the things people normally assume and look at the problem from a different perspective.
Oh, yeah, righto.
It's hard for a lot of people to think creatively like this because it requires you to step outside of your comfort zone and think about some potentially risky things.
Oh, they just seem risky?
Yeah, I think so. Thinking outside of the box can also cause you to question beliefs you've held for a long time. While that can be tough, it's also necessary for you to grow as a person.
True.
Yeah, so outside the box thinking is actually pretty rare. Surveys have shown that fewer than 10% of people think creatively on a regular basis.
I started jogging today. I didn't want to, but the margarita truck didn't stop.
Priorities.
Yep, that's right.
So sometimes moving to a different location.
What? Like what? Move your whole house?
No. When you give the logical left hemisphere of your brain a bit of a break, it becomes much easier for the creative right hemisphere to take over. So take your problem-solving discussion outside, go down the road where you live, say to a library or a cafe, or even take a shower. Have yourself a lovely bath.
Oh yeah, love me a bath.
Do something different to shake things loose. For example, if you're stumped trying to come up with a project, say for a class, for your job, business, relationship, you might take your dog to the park and try to put the project out of your mind. Something might come to you once you give the left hemisphere of your brain a bit of a rest.
Oh yeah, I get it. Oh yeah, righto then. You know, it's said that every piece of chocolate you eat shortens your life by 2 minutes. I've done the math. Seems I died in the year 1542.
I'm with you, Bob.
Yeah, my body doesn't make chocolate, so I take it as a supplement.
It's not bad, you know.
Yeah, thought you might like it, yeah.
So have you ever considered brainstorming ideas without judgment?
What the?
Yeah, so set the timer for 5 or 10 minutes. During that time, come up with as many solutions for your problem as you can without worrying about whether they're practical or anything you would actually do.
Like, I think I've come up with an idea for lost stocks. You know, start a retirement home for the lost ones in your sock drawer.
Good on you, Bob.
Yeah, repurpose them. They could come back, you know, like, I don't know, Muppets. What? Remember you said no judgment?
Quite right, I did. But it did kind of suck a little bit. A bit like a fart in a gale.
Yeah, right, eh? Fart in a gale, yeah.
So one of the hardest things to do here is to turn off your inner critic that tells you that you can't or shouldn't do something or that's a bad idea.
Or if you run out of toilet paper, you should return to the sock drawer. Oh, no, it's not the best, but you could recycle later, right? Yeah.
True that, yes. Anyway, so to think outside of the box, it requires curiosity rather than judgment. Once all the crazy dies down, real solutions can quite often happen. Clarity of vision arrives.
Clarity of vision, yes. Or solutions arrive on the wings of crazy.
Absolutely doodle. You're so right, Bob. Either way, solutions are there. If you're having a hard time getting yourself loose, try to think of a solution to your problem that would be illegal.
What are you saying?
Well, while you're not going to actually do that illegal thing, having that idea up on the board shows you that literally everything is on the table.
Oh, yeah, sparks more ideas. Oh, yeah, I can see that.
So if the problem is just too broad for you to tackle, you might need to scale it down with parameters. For example, instead of brainstorming how to increase social media engagement, you might start by focusing on a single platform.
Hey, while I have you here, did you nick off with my lunch today? Look, I didn't need a lecture, but I knew it was your lunch. So we both know you left it unsupervised. I'd say you learned a valuable lesson today. Yeah, right. I'm hiding my lunch from now on.
So hashtag thinking outside of the box. Look at the problem from a different angle.
I tried the Japanese method of decluttering.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, you know, where you hold every object you own and if it does not bring you joy, you throw it away. So far I've thrown out all the vegetables, my underpants, electric bill, scale, mirror and my treadmill.
All right, all over it, I see.
I think so, yeah.
So it's conventional to work from a starting point to get to your ultimate goal. But why not think about it backwards? Take a solution, then work backwards to figure out how you get there and what position you need to be in to get started down that path. For example, if you want to run a marathon, you might imagine that you've just finished your first marathon and then map out the steps it took you to get to that point.
Hey, why don't nuts go out at night? Because they don't want to be assaulted.
That's so bad.
No, I don't think it is. No.
Okay then. So draw a picture of the problem or say a possible solution.
Here we go.
Drawing activates your creative right hemisphere and makes it a lot easier for you to see more creative solutions to problems that might have evaded you before. It also allows you to visualise things in a way that you might not have been able to do before.
Hey, why does steak taste better in space? Because it's meteor.
Oh, groan.
Yeah, I thought it was better, right?
So hashtag thinking outside of the box. If you're not an artist or maybe not comfortable drawing, you might also mould something in clay or build something with blocks. These activities also stimulate your visual brain and get you thinking again.
Outside of the box?
Absolutely.
You could doodle.
You could. Listen to other people's ideas. No one can ever completely separate their ideas from their background, experiences and perspectives and then make them who they are. That's why listening to other people is a really great way to think outside of the box. My husband was a mechanic, built engines, cars, dyno-tuned engines, racing cars, very clever and taught me so much as he used to explain to me why certain things work mechanically, how they didn't work and what would make them better, and it helped me to appreciate the inner workings of so much, things I could never actually ever really understand, but it really opened up my mind to aspects of engines that otherwise I just would never have known.
He'd explain random things when you went out on drives about cars and exhaust.
Yes, he would. But that was just a part of our relationship. So the point,
The point?
the point. Because he has a totally different box than I do, or something that might seem out of my range of understanding to me but is perfectly normal to him. But it was always interesting. It took me out of my box, so to speak. Very clever man. So people tend to surround themselves with other people who are very similar to them because it's comfortable.
There's no stronger bond than the bond between two co-workers who are both annoyed by the same third co-worker. Yeah, I said it.
That sounds about right, Bob.
Yeah, I know.
Terrible. Anyway.
No.
So I was listening to an interesting talk this morning about being around people who are similar to themselves and they just don't grow. Essentially, people that don't want to grow can run the risk of being know-alls.
If you only knew me by my playlist, you'd never know if I was depressed, lonely, a redneck, a gang member, or just a wasted old man.
So being around the same people, unless they're in the business of supporting growth, can be a little bit painful to be around, might hold you back a little bit. And if people are, you know it. You know it. You make excuses as to why you're still around them when you may have complained about them and they just plain annoy you.
How's that?
Well, they might hold strong opinions, flat-out judgments, when they don't actually know. Like, even though I'm not mechanically minded or trained, I have learnt so much, and much of it just blew my mind. I had zero idea, and it opened up my mind to ask questions. But there's no way I would then go and be able to fix a car. Like, absolutely forget it. So I think it's wonderful to be with people from diverse backgrounds so that you always have access to different viewpoints.
Hey, remember the I before E rule?
Yes.
I before E, except when your foreign neighbour Keith receives 8 counterfeit beige sleighs from weird, feisty, caffeinated weightlifters.
Oh, so easy to remember.
Not really.
So, different healthy viewpoints. One of my all-time favourite things to hear on any day. Talk to a little kid about it.
Oh, the best.
Yeah, little kids make all kinds of connections that adults just wouldn't think of, especially when they're just playing and having fun. They don't have all the assumptions that old adults do, so they just can see things more easily that would be considered unconventional to an adult. Playing with children's toys can put you in this headspace as well.
Yeah, so true.
I love playing with my grandson, so I love getting his help. He comes up with new and innovative ideas that I would never have thought of before.
Ask someone outside your field.
Yes, because this technique tends to work best if you're dealing with a problem at work or, say, school. Your field or industry has many assumptions that you probably take for granted. If you talk to someone who isn't at all familiar with those assumptions, they can point out things you might otherwise have missed.
I just want Wilson Phillips to know that I'm still holding on, but shit's getting pretty rough out here.
I hear you. Hold on at least one more day.
Once you hit a certain age, you become permanently unimpressed by a lot of shit.
Peace, authenticity and good people, that's about all that impresses me.
Sounds like you've got standards.
May just. So this doesn't just mean having a conversation. You can also read articles about how the problem is addressed in different fields, exposing yourself to different methods.
I like it.
For example, if you're trying to come up with new ways for your football team, you might go to a rugby game and see if you can get some inspiration from some of their plays that you could adapt for your own sport.
How very generous of you.
How so?
Well, you don't like football.
Yes, but in that case, yes, I am generous, that's right, yes. So hashtag thinking outside of the box. Role play different solutions to see how they play out. Acting a solution out can help you see the problems with it as well as how to fix them. You might also uncover a totally different solution that would actually work better than the one you originally proposed.
Oh, yeah.
I have, in other roles, have had think tanks where we have just thrown weird ideas on the table and found solutions that we would not have found had we not allowed ourselves the freedom to leap right out of the proverbial box.
Does the jelly in a donut count as serving of food? I'm just asking for a friend.
It's the primary reason I feel validated loving apple fritters.
So does carrot in carrot cake, does that count as a vegetable?
Most definitely. So try mind mapping to find holes that could be filled.
Now here we go, mind map.
Yeah, to create a mind map, start with one thing. Write the word for that thing on a page and circle it. Then think about what makes up the thing in the circle. Write those things around the original thing and circle them. Then repeat the process until you've filled the page.
Oh, yeah.
Going backward like this helps you see the different parts that go into something that you can more easily see where there's a gap you could fill or a process that could use some improvement.
Reverse engineering, yeah, always wanted to say that. Always wanted to say reverse engineering.
Oh, there you go.
So what else can we do, but you keep it very simple?
Oh, simple's best. Go for a walk, as I was saying before, to boost your inspiration.
I'm not really a people person. I'm more of a one human at a time, by appointment only kind of person. No walk-ins, welcome.
Crowds are draining, I mean. Nothing wrong with claiming your own time, Bob.
Oh, I know.
So studies show that walking is a great way to get your creative mind going. If you're ever at a loss for ideas or struggling to find a creative solution by thinking outside of the box, I short walk outside in nature can help.
Nature, yeah.
If you can't get outside, walking inside can be very beneficial too, as can any kind of movement. Getting up, moving around, even if it's just to do a few jumping jacks, will kickstart your creative mind, get the blood flowing.
I don't curse.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I speak fluent trucker with a sailor dialect and a construction accent.
That you do at times.
Yeah, and I like it.
So start over with a clean slate.
Good to do that.
Yeah, if you ever thought you'd do things way differently, if you've had the chance to start from scratch, here's your chance.
Give yourself that gift.
Yeah, when you merely build on what others have done before you, you're likely not coming up with any truly new ideas. To come up with a new idea, you have to either be able to connect seemingly unrelated concepts or to figure out a different way to do something that's better and more suitable to what you're wanting to create.
I feel like a lot of problems would be solved if I had a dragon. Yeah.
Just thinking of Shrek now. I've got a dragon and I'm not afraid to use it. So I believe we've got to question how things have always been done.
Yeah, times change. You've got to change sometimes, yeah.
Outside the box thinking is at its heart unconventional thinking. You'll find unconventional solutions if you ask why those conventions exist in the first place.
Rectal Grease went and complained to HR. Yeah, now we can't use nicknames at work anymore.
That's right, rectal grease spoiled it for you.
Sure did.
Yeah. So whose ends does convention serve? Who benefits from them?
And are they even relevant anymore?
Precisely, Bob. For example, if you're looking for a new and original breakfast idea, you might question why French toast is always sweet. This could lead you to the idea of creating a savoury French toast dish.
Oh, that's making me feel a bit hungry. The old growth faggaroonie, yeah.
Thinking outside of the box allows you to come up with creative solutions to problems that help you grow, either in your career or in your personal life, and I love it. If you stick to the same assumptions as everyone else, you'll stagnate after a certain point, especially if you're a creative. That feels like certain death, doesn't it? Moving beyond those assumptions is the only way to progress and feel inspired.
Now you're excited.
Yes, about your life. So with thinking outside of the box rather than predicting things, we can kind of imagine various alternatives and I think grow from the process.
1 minute you're young and carefree and the next minute your knee can tell if the bloody rain's coming.
Yes, getting older is a privilege, but nobody mentioned the sound effects.
So this is about awareness, isn't it?
Yeah, for sure. When you make creative thinking and questioning assumptions a habit, you become more aware of the connections that you have with everything and everyone around you because you're curious, open-minded and flexible.
Well, thank you.
That's right. You go into any situation with your eyes wide open. Thinking through many possible solutions to a problem also means that you're aware of other things that might work if you try one thing and it fails.
True that.
With empowerment in mind, thinking outside of the box can really make you feel like you have control over your ultimate destiny because you're aware and agile. You know that you're able to formulate a solution to most problems that come your way.
And that's got to be a good thing, right?
Yes, and you won't shy away from problems that might seem too complex or too difficult because you'll know there are different ways of looking at those things.
I run an introvert social club. Yeah, I organise a meet-up every first and third Tuesday at the local pub. Then I cancel it at the last minute so we can all enjoy the relief of not having to go.
You do that, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
So having a go at looking at varying solutions, no matter what, no matter how they appear impractical, you'll also be less afraid of failure.
You'd look at opportunity from a different angle, wouldn't you?
You do, you absolutely do. So when you think outside of the box, you're much more likely to see opportunities on the horizon and get yourself in the position to take those opportunities.
Almost like you expected.
Yeah, so like when you have tunnel vision focus on a particular goal, people who think creatively often seem to be very lucky. But really, it's just that they're more
aware.
Yeah, they're just more aware.
That's something I've heard you've been called many times in your life.
Lucky?
Yeah.
Oh, well, it's true. It's just that I've had my finger on the pulse, I guess. I'm aware of my surroundings and possibilities that are about all of us, all the time. A mantra I often say and think is, what else is possible here for me?
I'm finally at a stage in my life where there's no complete sentence.
Well, I'm with you there, Bob, sometimes.
Yeah.
Hashtag thinking outside of the box. Creative thinkers, they're also more flexible and able to see the value in many different paths as opposed to being committed solely to one way of doing things.
I'm liking this.
Now, with innovation, creativity is the driving force behind every innovation, large and small. Often innovation happens because someone started thinking about a problem in a different way or asked different questions. An innocent mistake was made, and as I say, when different questions are being asked than other people are asking, and found the best way, another way to do something as a result.
Tremendous. Karma, life's little way of saying, let's see how you like it, eh?
Oh, bless. So map out a response to the worst case scenario.
What do you mean?
Well, is fear of failure holding you back from even thinking about taking a potentially risky path?
Could be, yeah.
Write down the absolute worst thing that could happen. Then think about how you deal with that. When you have a plan in place, you won't worry about it anymore because you'll know that you're capable of handling the worst. This gives you the freedom to think more creatively.
Yeah, very simple and very cool. Look, I don't hold grudges, I just remember facts.
And I love this about you, Bob.
Yeah.
So what about fear?
Oh, sheesh, fair, yeah, righto.
Fear can cause you to stick to well-worn paths that you know will be successful to a degree rather than taking risks that might pay off big but require you to blaze your own trail. Envisioning the worst-case scenario can help you convince yourself that even that isn't bad enough that you shouldn't try the riskier move. I've had to do that when a situation being perceived as hard, unfair and tough as hell, but breaking it down to you'll get on with life no matter what anyway is very liberating, and none of us will get out of this alive, and that truly motivates me.
Hey, instead of writing lol, I'm going to start writing salts.
What's that?
Smiled a little bit, then stopped.
It's actually a bit more accurate.
Yeah, I know.
So harness the power of positive thinking. Negativity kills creativity faster than anything else ever will.
Down with negative, Nelly.
Negativity speaks in limits and emphasises what you can't do. Creativity thinks beyond the limits and focuses on what you can do.
Till further notice, I'll be quietly existing without explaining myself to anyone, all right? Okay.
So when you think positively about all of the things that you're capable of achieving and all of the things you have achieved in the past, it becomes much easier to think creatively.
So much to be grateful for.
Yeah, positive thinking will also improve your overall mood, and a good mood also increases your
creativity.
Yes.
Seems to be that it's not actually that hard to think outside of the box.
There are easy things to do and repeat. Repeating positive affirmations each day is one way to encourage more positive thoughts and just helps you eliminate the negative ones.
Hey, if you're offended by the things I say, imagine the things I'm holding back.
True story. And that's the end of this episode.
No.
Yes. So thank you as always for joining our little band of movers and shakers. Many blessings to you all. Say good day to the family for me. Give the sparrow a flick and we'll see you next time, okay? Okay then. Bye.
Bye.